and I love all kinds of music. I, on my daily basis, kind of just listen to everything, whether it's Franz Liszt, like Romantic Arab composer, or Kodak Black,
Yeah.
for real, like
Yeah.
a ton of other stuff. So yeah, I think being a songwriter today, you need to be diverse
Oh, yeah.
in what you enjoy lyrically, content wise. Be diverse, even if it has nothing to do with you. So I think it's important.
Moonlight Ramble was created to explore the human side of the music industry from an Appalachian perspective. On today's episode, I met with Jay Skaggs, a grunge country singer-songwriter out of Central Kentucky. I'm in awe of Jay's talent as a songwriter and instrumentalist, and how he chooses to balance life and happiness. Take a listen to our conversation.
Well, if someone had money, we might be where you are. They don't let us up there 'cause they know we could go far. So many times I ain't been paid, so many stages I ain't played. I'm ankle biting, hard-nosed grinding ever since my first day. And bad dreams come, and bad dreams go, and I've had some you never know. And bad dreams come, and bad dreams go. It's a secret I've been holding. I ain't holding it much longer now.
Something I did want to talk about, you made this post on a story, I don't know, within the last couple weeks or so, and it said, "Make art, not friends."
Yeah.
Was that it? Kind of want to talk a little
Sturgill
bit.
Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about that and just your thoughts, like to develop that a little bit so I can hear
Okay.
purpose of that.
I guess I gotta be careful what I put on my Instagram stories now. But
I'm nosy. I like to
yeah,
read
no,
everything.
I think I was feeling a certain kind of way, and just talking to my buddy about it, and he reminded me that pretty much what I was describing was that song, "Make Art, Not Friends." I feel like pretty much says it. I think we exist in like a creative environment that like we call art content now, and it just seems like a lot more people are interested in who they're meeting rather than like what they're adding or what they're creating. And I've been playing music for a long time, and so I just think that it's a lesson. You run into it over and over again, and with the way that stuff is like 15-second intervals now, you run into it way more. So yeah, I don't know. I was feeling a certain kind of way, and yeah, I put my thoughts out there, but it's certainly not a negative thing. It can feel that way sometimes. I think coming out of the wrong mouth, like those kind of. But I think Sturgill Simpson said it well: "Make art, not friends," and I appreciate him saying that.
Yeah, it seems like he led the way for a lot of not new discussions, but really new modern discussions about music.
I think that he is able, or tons of people are, there's lots of people like that we look up to, and he, I think, is, from what I understand, is someone who was a songwriter just because he was, spent a lot of time doing real work. He had people to take care of, and I think that's a big difference between people too. Like if you have to make money, it takes you longer to develop, and I think that's a good thing. And Sturgill Simpson's one of those people that he didn't like. I might be wrong, but I don't think that he came from anything. I think his folks were like regular folks. Like I don't think any of his family were music people, is what I'm trying to say. So I think he can come from that place because he really hit it when he was older than the average. So yeah, I mean that's why I respect it, because I can tell where he's coming from a place that he wasn't. No one asked him to be there, but yet he's here.
It is interesting. I'm curious. I mean, because there are a lot of musicians like kind of going against like that quick 15-second.
Mm-hmm.
Even like songwriting in general, it took Leonard Cohen, 7 years to write Hallelujah, and it's like a great song.
I know I've heard that a lot, and I don't really understand that. I don't understand why that's the case, but yeah, I know that that's something that he said, and I guess it's true that, I mean, gosh, yeah, there's a lot of verses.
Yeah.
And he must have just had a book of verses. I mean,
yeah.
There must be verses that we haven't heard.
I think so.
It took him 7 years. He had to sift through all of it to come up with the song. But yeah, that's funny.
I think he even changed it once he played it live. He like went back and even changed some of the words, but not saying. I don't know. I think it's just a societal thing of appreciating quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And music itself was different when he took 7 years to do that. Just the whole pop culture aspect was brand new back then, right? So, and where we are now, we're still existing off that like creation of pop culture. Not to get too heady, but yeah.
What was like your first music memory?
Yeah, I think my first memory of music was listening to the radio, going to sleep when I was a little kid. Some songs that I remember really early, that Cranberry song, Linger, I feel like I heard that pretty early. I could recognize it. Dixie Chicks, Wide Open Spaces. I don't know, I must have been like 3 or so, 3 or 4, when I first like was moved by something like music. Movies too, like Disney movies. I think huge influence on a lot of people from my generation. Yeah, I like Disney songs.
What's like your favorite?
Well, I really like The Lion King. I actually realized something recently. Hans Zimmer did a lot of The Lion King, which I didn't realize. But yeah, not even in not even like the big like show tune parts of Disney.
Yeah,
like the scores.
That's interesting. But you've always kind of written though, right?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, I really have. Like, it's I've got so many songs that, like, if I were to record an album, like I could just go back, and a lot of songs that I wrote when I was 18, I feel like I could have wrote yesterday. There's definitely been some part of me artistically that has never, like it cultivated itself or whatever, and just hasn't. It's been the same. I think it like keeps me in tune with who I was when I was a kid. I do get older, but I don't feel older at all. I think a lot of people can relate to that, but it's important.
Yeah.
When you're creating art, to stay curious.
I really like how you play the guitar, but and your songwriting's so clever. Even just thinking about the perspective, like the Dink Williams song. But I have listened to what you just recently put out, the Live and at Home, quite a bit. I'm a person who like puts things on repeat.
Well, I appreciate it.
But yeah, like it's just there's not a song that I like skip.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Do you do anything like to get into a creative space, like creative headspace, or?
No, I've never done anything like that. I think maybe as I get older, I should. One thing that I notice that I do more often is kind of like thin out, because I write a lot of songs, and more often in the past couple of years, there's a ton that I just don't take out or play anywhere. So maybe like generally speaking, I'm more in like an organized space with lyrics and stuff like that. But no, I've never been like a I'm gonna write a song today type person. I definitely just, it comes to me in different ways. You know, sometimes I've been more coming from like a poetry place. Um, Words come to me a lot. But yeah, sometimes I'll hear songs when I'm just driving, and I'm a good enough guitar player to where I can go home and play it. Just the other day, I did that, and yeah, I mean, I just heard the whole song and went home and played it, and then there it is, and I do like it. Sometimes the ones that come too easy just aren't really worth it, but this case, I did like it. Yeah, and it takes a long time to be able to do that. I know there's an interview with Bob Dylan where he said that he didn't hear the guitar because the guitar was too complicated, and I never really understood that because the guitar just seems so like obvious today. So many people play the guitar, so I definitely hear the guitar. I don't know what he was talking about.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, it comes in different ways, and it definitely comes in waves. Like creative output comes in waves, and I'm patient about it. You know.
Why did you decide to do the live and at home album versus putting all these songs that you have like together?
Well, I really enjoyed doing home recordings, which is something I haven't done in a while because I've been busy just with like trying to get out there. So I have a ton of stuff that I could just kind of throw together like a mixtape. And like I was saying earlier, like doing festivals and like live performances or radio performances, it all goes straight to YouTube, you know. So I just use the old MP3 converters. I don't have a ton of access to studio time. I mean, I work, you know, I work. I don't, I'm able to do music because I like really have to make time to do so. So recording in a studio oftentimes is like extra for me. Almost like a bill, like to create a bill for myself with music is just would be crazy. So that's why I put it out like that, because I knew that I should. I didn't really have anything on Spotify, and that was probably hurting for a couple years, not having that accessibility. So, and since I have put stuff on Spotify, I've noticed that it's a lot easier for people to find me, follow me on Instagram. I know I have like a goofy Instagram name, so the Spotify kind of helps direct people to there.
Yeah, when you said that you had recorded the song
Gunpowder Creek.
Yeah, Gunpowder Creek. Sorry, I was trying to think. And you said I recorded that at home because I was like, I listen. That's the thing also with like your music. It's timeless, but yet it's like I'm taken to like another century. Like it's I really your voice, how you play the guitar, is wonderful. But I think it goes to show that, I mean, if it's any encouragement to other musicians, like you don't have to have all this money to go out and have this big production. Like what you've done is quality work. I would not. I mean, maybe someone else, but I would.
that you can hear it in that way. I'm always. That's one of my main points when I do it at home, is to just to make sure it's like listenable. And one of my main focuses with music is how it feels sonically. Like how does it really like feel? A lot of people say listenability. I don't like to say that just because it seems a little like cold. But yeah, sonically, I really try to focus. And like on that song, I recorded all the instruments, so it's easy to get on the bass or the mandolin, and I'm already in that sonic space, you know. So sometimes it's a lot easier than if you're bringing musicians to your house, spend like 2 hours of them like trying to see what you're seeing. So I really do enjoy that, and the doo-wop shop is a great place to go and rent instruments. So yeah, I look forward to doing that more. But
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, the doo-wop shop's awesome. It's on Southland here in Lexington. They do really cheap instrument rentals, and they're really quality. So
yeah, that's
doo-wop shop.
A wonderful resource.
Yeah,
that's great. So you play harmonica, guitar, banjo, anything?
Yeah, I was pretty interested in folk and bluegrass music when I was a kid. I really wanted to play the guitar, so I started doing that when I was about 11. And my mom was interested in getting me a mandolin, putting the mandolin in my hands. Just Ricky Skaggs is obviously popular, and he's my grandfather's cousin. I think they share grandparents. So my mom just wanted to get. She was trying to get that going, I guess.
Yeah.
So she got me like I think one Christmas, her and my grandparents got together and got a couple Guitar Center gift cards. And so I went and got like a cheap banjo. She got me a mandolin, resonator guitar, a lot of different stuff. So I can play a lot. I can play piano. I can play fiddle pretty good now. Actually, I've been working a couple years and I actually can play it pretty well now.
What's the most difficult instrument that you have played?
Well, I guess the fiddle is because I'm so used to like organized frets. So, and yeah, I mean, I picked that up in adulthood. You know what I mean? So, just goes to show. People say that you can't pick things up like that.
Yeah, there's hope. I always am like, oh, I'm gonna learn. I just feel like I don't have the ability, but I've never given myself.
It helps that I've spent a ton of time in music and with melody and stuff like that, obviously. But yeah. So
I've got some wooden bones. Have you played the bones before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in New Orleans this summer, and this dude had some bones in his house, and I like flipped them around. So I was like clapping them, just like flip around, like inside out.
Yeah.
But I like the sound.
Yeah.
I like percussion. I can play drums. I've never done like a trumpet or anything like that. Woodwind or a brass, I've never done that.
Yeah. Were you in band in school?
No, I did want to be in a jazz band when I was in 7th grade. They had a guitar, and I thought that was cool, but I wasn't academic enough to be accepted.
Does anybody else play music in your family?
A little bit, yeah, not a ton. Like my immediate family, not really. My dad kind of knew a couple chords. Sort of. I'm going to give him that little bit of credit. But really, my uncle Mike on my mom's side, he is a great guitar player and musician. I haven't seen him play anything else, but I'd imagine that he can. He played guitar in the 60s in bands. He played for the Monkees.
Oh, is he? I heard this story. He was behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Because
they couldn't play.
They didn't know how to play the
instruments. So Davy Jones couldn't play the guitar.
That's wild.
So my Uncle Mike Boyd was behind the curtain and played the guitar for him.
That's crazy that existed.
Yeah, it is wild, and someone had to do it, right? So I mean, he was a good guitar player from the area. So I think he would do Cincinnati. He maybe would go to Louisville and Indianapolis and things like that.
I think a lot of musicians might prefer that than center stage.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, yeah, and he has cool stories of playing the old Reds Stadium, Crossley Field, with his band, and
oh wow,
yeah,
that's inspiring. It's always neat just to cut. My family's quite small, and I don't have like a large lineage that I know anything about. But when you know who you are, and you're like, where did that come? Like, you get a little comfort to be like,
yeah, I do have a little bit of that just because my last name is unique, so it's super easily traceable.
Yeah,
it's pretty much just from Eastern Kentucky and Southwest Virginia and some West Virginia. But yeah, like I played the Appleshop Festival, the Seatown Festival.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Great energy and environment. But the host, his name is John Skaggs, and I hadn't met him before, and I got to talking to him after my set, and we are related.
Oh wow!
But it's a small place, and there's not a lot of most Skaggses I'm related to. There's a couple that I haven't met that I probably am related to if I talk to him. But I'm a little bit on my own island sometimes, so I haven't met him. But
I just love that area in general. Oh, just around Whitesburg, like the community.
Yeah.
You have like metalheads turned bluegrass, or just such a variety of musicians there.
Right. Yeah, and I haven't spent much time there at all, but yeah, I think punk music in Eastern Kentucky just make perfect sense. Even more sense these days than old time.
Yeah.
Just based on how it is.
Yeah.
but yeah, I love punk music, and I love that it's getting more shine in the southern states.
Yeah. Who would you suggest us listen to?
Okay, well, I really like a lot of like the honest true punk. Like I love the Sex Pistols sound. I just think it's really perfect.
Yeah.
I like stuff like Black Flag, and I like a lot of some like hardcore. Sometimes what's that one band? I can't think of the name right now, but I like a lot of like '90s grunge. I like a lot of punk music. Like I said, classics. There's this one hardcore band I'm trying to think of that I can't think of the name right now. But you know that song where he's like, "I just wanted a Pepsi." He's like, "No, I just wanted a Pepsi."
No.
No. All right. Well, someone's gonna know.
Yeah, someone tell us.
So I like that band. I forget the name, but yeah.
That threw me off. It is like that's one of the most proud. I don't know parts that I think I am being Appalachian is. I always say like I'm very rebellious, but I think I was just, and maybe just the females in my family specific were very anti-authoritarian.
Oh yeah, there's a certain amount of that like pioneerism that still goes on.
Yeah.
I remember my mama was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And she was really nice, you know. She was a really nice, sweet lady, but she was just tall.
Yeah.
And like her voice was tough. I don't know. Like there's that certain like real Eastern Kentucky accent where it's like no matter what, it just kind of sounds tough.
Yeah,
like,
some grit. So and your mom, so you were raised in northern Kentucky, right across the river from Cincinnati, but still rural.
Yeah, I was raised in, well, my parents were divorced when I was about 2 years old. So I was raised out in Union. My dad had a property out near Rabbit Hash, which actually had Unlearned. And yeah, I lived, went back and forth. My mom lived in northern Kentucky. Yeah, so I spent a ton of time in Boone County. And then my mom eventually moved to Boone County as well. So that's where I just was. So yeah, I'm from Union, Walton. Yeah, back in the day, it was pretty rural. It certainly still is. Like Walton definitely still is. But like Union and Florence, and you can't pretty much go anywhere that doesn't have a new road anymore. Which I'm not up there a lot, but yeah, I love being from there. I love living there, and I like living in Lexington too because they're so similar. But yeah.
So for you, is music just like an innate thing that you have to do, or is it healing? Is it all of that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it must be like an innate thing that I have to do. I don't know because it's not really. It's a lot of fun and it's gratifying, and I love writing just a good lyric that explains how I feel, and I really like doing that. It hasn't really done a lot for me. I'm doing it because it's a labor of love, so it must be something that I just feel like I have to do because it's not, it's certainly more than a hobby, but yeah, like I said, it's a labor of love. So yeah, I really have never even imagined anything else, even when I was like a little kid. I truthfully haven't. And now here I am. I maybe should have thought of something else, but I still don't, and I probably won't. I'll just,
Is your goal to stay in Lexington?
Sure. Yeah, I'd like to own some land soon. We want to kind of go where it is. My girlfriend's family is up in Walton. Her family's from Walton, but she grew up here. So it was when we met, it was kind of like what like her folks are from where I'm from. So between there and Lexington, somewhere around there. I really like Central Kentucky. I love Eastern Kentucky a lot, and a ton of opportunity to buy land in Eastern Kentucky and kind of make your place. But yeah, I just love Central Kentucky. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm feeling that too. I was raised here till second grade, but my family's from Grant County, Lawrence County, and down south to Hazard. So I kind of got, like, I knew what it was outside of that area, but just returning and being back, it's not even that, you know, I can live anywhere and there's opportunities to do things. It's not like there's nothing to do, but it's just the landscape's beautiful. Yeah. You can be isolated or not. You're not forced into isolation.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, the landscape is beautiful here. It's a wealthy place, you know, so you do have to find where you can fit in. But yeah, and I think that at times my roots are in my music, but I don't know. I think that I would sound like I do if I was from Montana, for real. So I know that, like, Kentucky and like Kentucky music is kind of like a thing right now. And so with that, I mean, I appreciate it, you know. I guess in some ways, since it is kind of like hot right now, all these Kentucky singers, I'm a little lucky because otherwise, like, if I was just from Montana, I'd have to, like, you know, I don't know, but it's super cool that, yeah, I don't know. I've never put a ton of stock in my roots about my music. It's more been about just poetry.
Yeah.
But if someone wants to describe me as a Kentucky singer, that's totally cool. Yeah.
What do you feel about genres? Like, do you classify yourself?
Yeah, I do. I guess because I have to, and I would say alt country. A couple people have said grunge country, which I think is super cool.
That is cool.
And totally makes sense for how I feel. But yeah, I don't know, man. Folk music, alt country, you know. And I love all kinds of music. I, on my daily basis, kind of just listen to everything. Whether it's Franz Liszt, like romantic era composer, or Kodak Black. Yeah. For real, like a ton of other stuff. So yeah, I think being a songwriter today, you need to be diverse. In what you enjoy, lyrically, content-wise, be diverse, even if it, you know, has nothing to do with you. So I think it's important to listen to anything other than country, really. Like, I do listen to country, obviously, and I've listened to bluegrass, pretty good amount, but I think it's pretty important to not, especially if you're in that genre. I forget who it was. It might have even been Louis Armstrong, but he was asked who he listens to, and he said that he had listened to like country western records exclusively. Like, he didn't listen to jazz, he didn't listen to big band, because he didn't want to sound like those records. He was like, if I start listening to brass records, then I'm going to start sounding like those records. So he listened to just strictly like the new country western at the time.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that goes across all fields.
Totally.
Definitely if you're in the creative field, but I guess like everything's creative when you're problem solving. Yeah. So being, it's not disheartening, but for people to lock themselves into narrow views and not to expand like that. Definitely music. I think that tells a lot about someone when they're like, I only listen to this. And it's like, what foods do you eat? I don't know. Sure, it's like other things.
It's hard to be that way anyway these days because there's so much, but
yeah, that's good insight. Are you looking to get with the label?
Sure, man.
Yeah, you're just open to everything.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know about a label. I'm definitely interested in management because an agent really helps a lot with booking. I book everything on my own. Yeah. So, you know, even like what festivals I do get are like, I'm really trying to do it, you know. Yeah. It's one of those like throwing paint at a wall type thing.
It's so much work.
It is a ton of work. Yeah, it really is. And I'm getting pretty good at it as far as like sending emails and being respectful about it too. Yeah. And respectful to myself because I do think that I have something to bring to a lineup. Yeah. So good. I do want to be on lineups, but at the same time, I'm not going to cry about it, you know. Yeah. So I am getting pretty good at it, and I think just having an agent, just having someone reach out and be like, "Hey, this is my," it does a lot, you know, because emails are coming from my Jay Skaggs
Mhm.
at gmail.com.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
So yeah, I do want an agent.
Not Marvel or what? What is
Yeah,
your?
that's from Harry Potter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a label seems like a big deal, I guess. An agent just seems a little more my style.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll see. I think that I have confidence in my art. I think that I have trajectory.
Mhm.
If someone did want to book me
Yeah.
stuff, I think that I would have trajectory
Yeah.
in a label situation. But at the same time, I'm pretty low key. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Do you have are you already booking festivals for the summer?
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's a few festivals that I'm really hoping to get. I've sent out a lot of like booking inquiries, and I've gotten some emails back. So if I get any email back, I look at that as like a positive. A lot of people say like any email. If I get a rejection, that's a negative.
Right.
But if I get any email that's like, can you send us any more live video or anything like that? So I've gotten a few of those that I've responded to and sent back to. So I'm just hoping that comes through.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Other than that, I kind of took a stance of just seeing what happens because there's so many musicians. There's so much music out there, but there's only a little bit of opportunity.
Mhm.
And so I definitely mentally understood and have prepared myself for no opportunities
Mhm.
coming my way just because
Mhm.
there's so many people. Um, and like a positive,
Mhm.
acceptance of that's just the way life is. It might not be my month, but I might get an opportunity, next month or next year or whatever. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get a couple festivals. Um, some festivals that I really respect have emailed me back, so I hope
Mhm.
that it works out.
Mhm.
But yeah, booking by yourself is you never know.
Mhm.
Um, I got a pretty good festival last summer, just reaching out to people and going through the protocols. So
Mhm.
I think it'll happen again.
Yeah.
hmm
That's great.
Yeah, I appreciate the tea.
Mhm. Do you want some hot? You want it warmed up?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. I'm finishing it up.
Okay. Um, what makes you happy?
Hmm. I don't know. Hanging out, just living day by day.
Mhm.
Not thinking about
Mhm.
anything makes me pretty happy.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, simple stuff. Um, Sweetgrass, smell of sweetgrass. It really does it for me.
Mhm.
You know, um,
Like after it's cut?
after it's cut sometimes, but like really tall, like sweetgrass. Like
Yeah.
if you're driving down a country road,
Mhm.
the right time of
And
year.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just that. There's a ton of it where I'm from, and there's some of it here. But the thing about it down here is like everything's bush hogged.
Yeah.
Everything's like pristine.
Yeah.
So you don't smell that same smell.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm thinking. When I smell it, I'm on a back road
right. hmm
somewhere.
But yeah, that type of stuff makes me happy.
Mhm.
And good music sometimes, good food.
Mhm.
But simple stuff.
What's like good food to you? Do you cook?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I've been a line cook, like for work for years,
Mhm.
so I'm pretty good at cooking. I'm a pretty creative cook,
Mhm.
a chef
Mhm.
maybe. I've had thoughts about like wanting to. I never would obviously, but like a food truck or a restaurant or something
Mhm.
because I think I've got cool ideas, and I've stolen tons of recipes from restaurants.
Yeah, good.
So I've got a great head start.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I like a good cheeseburger, man. I don't
Mhm.
know, like I like a good uh, creative tastes. One of the best burgers I've ever had. I worked at 21C in Cincinnati,
Mhm.
and they do a blue cheeseburger.
Is that a hotel?
Yeah, the 21C is a hotel, and
Okay, I
the
didn't.
restaurant's called the Metropole.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, best burger I've ever had, hands down. I'll make it at home.
But it has
Yeah.
blue cheese and what?
Blue cheese, and it's got like these like it's like honey onions, caramelized
Hmm.
onions, and yeah, just fire. It's
Mhm.
good. Um, and I really like making Asian foods.
Mhm.
My girlfriend's really good at Vietnamese,
Oh yeah.
like rice wraps and stuff.
Mhm.
So
That's fun.
mhm. Yeah, I love to cook. And like I'm just creative. I like
Mhm.
just like I like painting or playing the guitar. I want my plate to look good.
Yeah. Seems like you have a beautiful life. I think because I'm always like, I'm not creative, but like I love gardening. I like cooking like
Yeah,
that.
I love to garden. Yeah.
Can make a quilt, you know what I mean? But I don't.
Yeah, I'm very, I just really don't spend a lot of time thinking. I don't know how else to express that. Like I really just do not think. I love just waking up in the morning. I love mornings, and it's a good way to be. Take out all the noise, I'm not Catholic, but I thought about practicing for Lent. I've been like staying off of Instagram, so I'm gonna just stick to that. And,
that's good.
yeah, I'd love to not be on social media at all.
I know.
And part of being an artist, you're like I said earlier, the art becomes content. So it's like that's what it's about these days. And sometimes I fear that if I were to just not be on it, that I'd miss opportunities. And it's true, know. So I try to just. I think a huge part of happiness, and if you haven't figured it out yet, stay off of anything. Like quiet time, quiet your mind. Reading has been pretty important to me in the past few months, and it always has been. But I'm definitely like deliberately reading a lot more. It's important. Get back in tune with your brain. Get back in tune with
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. I do. I mean, like because like I said, I work on the computer all day. And it's like, I hike a lot. So if like I haven't hiked and I like am getting like anxious, like something's not right.
Right.
I'm like, I know what I have to do. And I'll go out I could sit in the woods for like hours would go by. And I'm like, yeah. And but you have to take the time to even feel that, to know what that feeling, where it's coming from.
Yeah, we really have to log out these days. It like legitimately is like that. And I think that pretty much everybody experiences it, whether they know it or not.
They have to.
Just that noise going on all the time it's important to get rid of. So that's long story short, the quiet makes me happy.
It's good too to challenge yourself like that. Little like just like I said, there's no reason for me not to drink. It's just I don't need it right now.
Up.
I'm not.
Just have a sober mind. Just And I smoke a ton of weed, so I have to decide like I'm not going to smoke right now. Like, I'll just because it's seriously like second nature to just like smoke up for me at any point. And so I've been trying to just read more, smoke less, in the right context, the right situations. But
have you, when you've been reading more, have you found yourself dreaming more? Like, have you recognized your dreams?
No. I've always had pretty good dream recollection if I get enough sleep. I don't think I've noticed a difference with reading, but that is pretty interesting. Nope, I haven't. I just need to sleep more.
Yeah, maybe. Are you someone who's like 3 hours, or you need 6, 8 hours?
Yeah, I can run on a pretty minimal amount of sleep. The older I get, I'm becoming more deliberate about laying down and just letting my body turn off. But yeah, I spent a ton of time just not sleeping throughout all my 20s, most of my 20s. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I value the sleep and love waking up early these days. If I can, well, usually I have to work, I'll get up early. But I try to, even on off days, I'll try to get up at least by like, if I can still see 9, before the double digit time.
Yeah.
Then I feel early enough.
Yeah.
Like today I got up we got up like 9:45 and I was like, all right, we're early still.
Good. Yeah. That's tough. I mean, just thinking about even just like that balance of promoting yourself. Do you ever feel like there's not like a limit you could over promote yourself? Do you feel that?
There certainly is.
Yeah.
There absolutely is a limit. And I try to be pretty aware of that. And most of the time when I'm posting on Instagram, I'm being funny. And I just let other people promote themselves. That's how I feel about it these days. I don't know. it's a, we're not all superstars,
Yeah.
and I think that part of this like hustle culture has promoted this sort of like put your package out mentality all the time, and so I just try to step away from it. And yeah, so the promoting yourself aspect is not really something that I worry about anymore.
Yeah, I think I heard Rick Rubin talking about don't let like kind of like that hustle of becoming, like, if you are an artist,
Yeah,
like you still have to work and be a human being.
yeah, man, yeah, for sure.
And because if you it's not even like all your eggs in one basket, but you have to also develop in other ways.
Yeah,
because
you can't just exist in a world of like, yeah, I'm a musician, and some people are able to do that. A lot of people are afforded the opportunity to actually just do that. But yeah, I love Rick Rubin. That's just, I'm glad that he has said that. Makes sense that he would. But yeah, you definitely have to. It's not just about being super cool and having cool pictures and stuff. Like it's at the end of the day, you gotta have something behind you, and having a real life makes good art.
Yeah.
A lot of the people I look up to, it didn't happen fast for them. Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I'm a closeted an emo, so like
okay,
part of your music, even when I hear your voice when you're singing, it's like it's very like emotive, like it's emotional.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of the talent is being emotional.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that I respect these days, I feel like Sarah Farrell is someone that does it perfect.
Oh yeah.
Her talent is, she can sing obviously, and she's a good musician, but her talent is her, right? It's that's why people love it, because she just like emanates herself. And yeah, so I definitely try to think about that more when I'm playing music, that the talent is the confidence. So yeah, but yeah, and that being said, the emotion comes with that. You have to have the emotion, and I am pretty emotional. I think I'm in answering question mode. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm a little more like sober, because I'm trying to just be truthful or honest. But yeah, no, I mean,
when's your birthday?
You want to know my sign?
Yeah.
I'm a July Leo.
Okay.
What'd you think?
I wasn't thinking Leo. I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't really know much about them, but I am. I'm a Leo and a Leo rising, and Capricorn moon.
That's
right.
Okay. Just like leadership, headstrong and protective, loyal.
Sure. Yeah, and I get with that. I get with the astrology stuff sometimes. Like when I read stuff about Leos, sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that. That could be me.
Yeah.
And people say there's a difference between July Leos and August Leos, and absolutely, yeah. I've had August Leos in my life. My mother's an August Leo. My stepmother's an August Leo. I've met other August Leos. And yeah, I totally relate to that. Are you an August Leo?
No.
Sorry, it just seemed like the way you were looking at me, I was like, no, okay.
I'm a Cancer, but that's how Cancers probably feel about Aries.
Okay.
It's just like,
all right,
you pick out and you're like,
yeah,
the Aries.
Hey, there is some truth to it. I have not really gotten along with Scorpios very well in my life. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm very glad to meet you. Thank you. Really, thanks.
I appreciate you asking me. Yeah, I've done a couple of these, and I love having conversations about art and music, and just general influences is good to talk about. I appreciate what you're doing, and when you hit me up, I saw your page, and I'm a fan of Eric Bolander. I knew a couple of folks that you'd interviewed, obviously Grayson, and so yeah, I was interested.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Thank you so much for listening to the 8th episode of the Moonlight Ramble. Go follow Jay Skaggs on social media. You can find him playing at the Green Lantern Friday, March 8th in Lexington, Kentucky. Go support your favorite musicians and venues, and happy listening.
the right? Who rights the wrong? Somewhere in time, does it belong to Gunpowder Creek? What you gave to me, I can't define. Mountain of might, fury of man. Somewhere in time, if I could stand in Gunpowder Creek, Lord, it plays on repeat. Oh, Gunpowder Creek, what you meant to me. Angel on the shoreline, angel on the shore. Is it not what I do that defines who I am? I said, angel on the shoreline, angel on the shore. Is it not what I do that defines who I am? Thank you all. That's a song called Gunpowder Creek. I like to tell a story about it. I don't know if you all are familiar with Gunpowder Creek. That's in Boone County, Kentucky. It's about 30 minutes from Cincinnati. Hooday. I see that Bengal shirt. But yeah, so I was baptized in Gunpowder Creek when I was about 16 years old. So it took me some years to write that song, but wrote it pretty recently and it's getting a lot of play.